What's up, guys? Just Another Hero here. Who's got two thumbs and is completely pumped about what just happened today at E3? This guy right there. He's loving it. He's loving Pac-Man.
It's a lie.
it's a damn lie.
Dirty lie.
Let me get this straightened out. Such a little surprise opening. Was it worth it? I say so. Alright, you want to scoot in here a little bit? Okay, so maybe you guys have seen my Super Smash Brothers 4 character predictions. I got my buddy Josh here, and we are going to talk about some of the stuff that was shown at E3. We've got 3 new characters for Smash Brothers. We have confirmed Zelda release. Well, it's confirmed that it's in 2015, but we have a confirmed game. A little bit of gameplay on that.
On which one?
On Zelda.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those was a cutscene at least.
Yeah, and I think maybe like the first part was gameplay. I don't know. It's looking good, like most Zelda should. A lot of Smash Brothers news. Let's just start it off. We've seen everything that we're going to talk about. Watched it a couple times. We'll start off with the playable characters. First off, start off easy. Palutena. Okay, so obviously she was on my list. I think she was third on my list, so kudos to me for calling that. But she looks fun. I think it was, when I was talking to you, you said that she looked pretty interesting as far as some of the stuff that she could do, and just like, she's not a straight up brawler. She kind of has magic.
She's got a lot of big moves for some reason. I think it was like up smash something. Like it went pretty far up the screen.
Talking about the light, the celestial light or whatever, and it just like hits the whole screen. Like
it went like straight up, and it looked like a pretty big move. And she can do something where she moved faster than Sonic.
Slowed him down.
Did she slow him down, or did she become faster than him?
I don't know. Looked like she says like lightweight, and then she like glides past him. And
right, so she becomes faster than him. I think.
Okay.
But I don't know too much about her, so.
She looks like she's a very tricky character. I think a great inclusion. I mean, obviously Sakurai, as I said in the other video, worked very closely with the Kid Icarus. I think it was his team that did the Kid Icarus game. HAL Laboratories did. So he knows the character really well. I'm sure he made a great reset for her. That is not the character that we're going to disagree about here. That's the easy one.
Well, we can 2 characters.
Right, like she's not. She's just a middle ground for us. I think she looks decent. You think she looks okay? You know, you're not too like gung ho for playing her.
I'll definitely try her, but
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Moving on to maybe a bit more sore subject. We'll start with what was shown first. Let's start with the one that I don't want to talk about. No, I want to be the good guy in the end.
No, I want to be. No, I'm gonna start it now. Pac-Man.
Pac-Man Fever. Looking great. He's looking amazing.
I do not care about Pac-Man. I think it's just a lame addition to the game.
Why is it a lame addition to the game?
No, I understand that they're, getting a representative from all the different, companies or whatever you want to call them.
All the big names back in the day for gaming.
Right, but it's just like
Mega Man, Mario, Sonic, and then the Pac. I think the way that they did it was cool though.
There's just no hype. I was just not hyped for Pac-Man. It's like Mega Man, sweet. I love Mega Man.
No, I agree. He's probably been when I saw him, and I think when everyone's seen him, they just went, great babe, man. They went out of their seats when that happened.
I think it's more of like a Game & Watch thing where it's like it's more funny than it is like badass.
They kind of nodded to that though. Game & Watch was at the end of that, so obviously Game & Watch. I don't want to say he's been confirmed, but that's probably a confirmation right there.
Yeah, I mean like Sonic, really awesome. Mario, obviously going to be included. Mega Man, awesome. Pac-Man, it's really funny.
Keep Mario out of the game.
Only had his awesome brother. I just liked it when they went off the screen and then they came back and Pac-Man was chasing him when it was like...
Yeah. I
waka,
thought...
Waka, 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 waka.
The way they did it was interesting. They did like Mario, the red, and then they did blue for Mega Man and Sonic. And then this yellow line comes out and then you just know.
Oh, what about... talk about his moveset.
His moveset both... took me off guard because I thought they were gonna. He isn't the Pac-Man from like the Ghostly Adventures, which just came out. He's not the new Pac-Man. He's kind of like the Pac-Man that they created when they wanted him to have legs. Last time I was away in Carbondale, which you guys probably don't know, but this is my hometown. There's somewhere else. They had a Namco claw game. You know those claw games where you pick up the stuffed animals,
right?
And they had Pac-Man on it. And this was after the hype about, like, oh, who's going to be in the game, blah, blah, blah. And I was always under the impression that they're going to put the Ghostly Adventures Pac-Man in there. Because judging by what I've seen from gameplay from Ghostly Adventures, there is quite a lot that he has in his arsenal. But the Pac-Man that they had on this machine, this claw game machine, was the one that they have in the game. And that was, I think, the first one that they created when they gave him arms and legs. So I know people were kind of concerned. They said, well, how's Pac-Man going to fight? He's just a ball.
Well, you're talking about his, what he looks like and his new visuals, stuff like that, but his moveset's it's basically all old stuff, like Galaga, Dig Dug.
Mm-hmm. I like that about him.
I want to see the Dig Dug one. I want to see him get that little guy and pump him to death.
I was surprised that they did that, but it was like a delightful surprise. Liked it.
Maybe that like dragon thing will come out. You know, that thing that like moved. If he wouldn't get released, his face would just move through the dirt, and then he'd get to the next area.
Yeah. They might. I don't know what they're going to do with it, because you said they had Space Invader? Was that the one that they had?
They had the part where the ship tries to absorb, one of your ships.
Yeah.
To take it over. I'm
going to have to do a little bit more research as to what Namco did, because I actually have one of those, at Walmart, they have those, like... I don't know if they still do, but it's just like a little joystick, like a classic joystick, and then it's got all the games preloaded on there. I had a Namco one of those, so I want to see what's on there, because it looked like a lot of his moveset was just packed with like old school references.
Well, that's the point I'm trying to make, is that they're, new school visuals, old school games. So
yeah,
together, it's all right, I guess, even though.
So it seems like you're defending Pac-Man a little bit here. You're saying, okay, he's looking decent.
Well, I don't want to be just all negative here, so let's just...
Well, I'm going to absolutely be all negative. What is up with the Miis being in the game?
No, they're not that bad.
They just look... Okay, we're moving on, by the way, guys. We're looking so out of place. They're looking so out of place fighting in where you got bright, colorful characters like Pac-Man, and he's got his own, retro, like, personality to him. And you got Mega Man, where he's like... He's still the retro version, but he looks great. And you got Mario, the whole plumber thing he's got going for him. You got all these characters filled with personality. And then you get this bland stick figure looking thing, and it's like, I can't get hyped about that.
It's not really stick figure looking. Okay, if anything, the characters that are already in the game are like darker and more like shaded than the Miis. They're pretty bright. Like, that's what makes them look out of place, because they're so bright compared to the other characters.
I guess that was a bad choice of words. I mean, like, everyone in the game that's a Nintendo character has something going for them. They have, like, a backstory. They have something, Link... we've all done an adventure with Link if we're a Nintendo fan. We've all played a Mario game. We know their stories. With a Mii, it's like... Oh, it's just me up there, or they show like Abraham Lincoln, like, oh, I'm fighting with Abraham Lincoln. That's kind of cool, but
I don't know. I mean, I haven't really played the new Pac-Man game, so I really haven't had an adventure with Pac-Man. I've gotten to level 12, so,
I guess that's true.
That's quite an adventure.
But like, that's where I think they did him well. Is that they said, okay, maybe Pac-Man doesn't have that big of a backstory. Let's throw him in as a retro representative.
Well,
and that's his personality.
What's the difference with the Miis then?
Because I think that he's representing a generation of games that have kind of gone to the wayside. These arcade games that you don't see as much anymore. Whereas the Miis represent customization, like self-customization, and they were brought about in the Wii stages. I don't know. I guess it's I'm okay. I'll say this. I'm not one of those people that like went crazy and created a whole bunch of Miis and like hit my grandma over and was like, "Grandma, make a Mii on here. Like, this is so cool." Like, well, all the grandmothers and grandfathers were playing when the Wii came out. Breaking their hips on the boxing.
My grandma almost threw a Wiimote through the TV.
That happened a lot when they first came out. Remember they had to redo the straps, those little straps on them, because people kept throwing them through the screens, and that's when HDT...
What do you mean they redid them?
They made them stronger.
Oh.
Yeah, when they first... Well, we're getting off topic. But basically, back when the Wii came out, a whole bunch of people broke their HD TVs, and it was bad. So, yeah, I remember a whole bunch of those YouTube videos coming out. But, back on track, what were we talking about?
We were talking about how the Miis are basically the representative of the Wii console.
Wii generation of gaming, kind of, yeah, and the Wii console. And that's all fine and dandy, but I think part of the reason is, I wasn't big on creating Miis. I have mine. You've seen mine. It looks pretty good. It looks like me. And that's cool. Like, I'm a pretty bland person, I just got the hair and, like, the eyebrows, and then that's pretty much, and put the butt chin in, and then everyone knows who it is. And they did a good job with being able to customize them. I just didn't ever go crazy. I will say two things that I really like about the Mio. Go positive, just like you. I like the fact that they give them such a diverse moveset. It's not just, okay, the gunner. Oh, by the way, you guys probably seen it, but the gunner. There's 3 different kinds of Miis. There's gunner, swordsman, and brawler. Was it? Mm-hmm. And brawler, and each of those even has customization options. So they are at least sticking true to the character itself, the Mii, and they're saying, okay, you can customize a Mii. What could you do in Smash Brothers to customize a moveset? Okay, that makes sense. I like that about it, because not everybody's Mii is going to be the same.
Yeah, what is it? Like, they did, like, the chart. It was, like, 36 different combinations of Miis.
Yeah, they said it would take 9 characters to match the amount of moves, the diversity of moves in the Mii characters. Very interesting. I really, really like that. I also like the fact that, let's be honest, when the Smash Brothers game comes out, everyone is disappointed because somebody that they wanted did not get included. Now we have the chance to create whoever the hell we want and put them in the game. I mean, I know because I played Mario Kart Wii when they had the Miis involved. Everyone was creating these like crazy, like they were creating their own Marios. They were creating like Ness. They were creating all these different characters. And while they don't like look the best, it's nice to see like Nintendo nod to creativity. So I don't know. You talk a bit about what you like in the Miis.
I didn't mind the Miis. I think they look all right. I mean, the Gunner Mii probably looks the best in my opinion. So that was probably my favorite. And they kind of have like a Mega Man feel to it, or like a Samus feel to it. So those are he's my favorite of the 3. I don't know how it's gonna work though. Like if you're gonna have to set up your moves in like the character select screen, or
each Mii will have their own loadout,
or maybe like how you have to set like rumble control or like tap to jump if you have to set it up in there for like the Mii character. So it's gonna be pretty interesting.
Okay, well, either way, I think at the end of the day, we're big enough fans of Smash to where no matter who gets put in the game, we're probably going to try everyone at least a few times,
I'll try everybody.
You'll try Pac-Man.
I'll try Pac-Man.
You'll probably end up loving him, get amazing with Pac-Man, just start wrecking people.
Pac-Man.
He's my main Pac-Man. Okay,
we have
consult the handy-dandy notebook here.
Amiibos.
The Amiibos, yes. So, Smashlanders is what we should call them.
All right, we're calling them from now on.
Smashlanders?
Yeah, Smashlanders.
Trademarked. I think they look
Smashlanders TM.
Good. Like the statues themselves, I just can't see myself implementing them too.
You probably collect them more as figures
than
anything else.
Yes, I probably will, because none of you guys know this, but I was considering playing Disney Infinity, which is another kind of ripoff of Skyline. Well, it's not kind of. It's
basically
it's
the same
a
ripoff.
With
better characters, because it's like, that's unfair.
Yeah,
that's unfair.
They're too iconic to pass up on, so people are like, oh, I like Skylanders, but I love Disney.
Who you want to play more as? Buzz Lightyear and Woody, or Skull Crusher and Lava Dog?
Axeman, yeah. I
think there is one called Lava Dog.
There probably is. But, yeah, I think Nintendo knows how much money they can make from Smash.
Did you see that the part where they're the president of Smash and who was the other guy?
Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Isn't Reggie the president?
Oh, Reggie's the president. Satoru Iwata.
Whoever the other guy was.
The glasses guy, right? The guy who's wearing the glasses.
Yeah, they were playing each other, and then the one guy lost, and so he took out Mario from his pocket and just, put him into the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see myself using it that much, and I'm getting kind of pissed thinking about it because people online are just gonna be like,
I don't think it works that way. But
for glory, maybe it won't be in for glory.
But we haven't even talked about what it does. I mean, I assume people who are watching this have already seen what it does. But basically,
for those of you who haven't seen,
basically you get the toy and then you touch it on your gamepad, and then it puts that character into the game to either fight against you or fight alongside you. And it can level up and get stats, strength, speed, stamina, all that good stuff. And then it saves those stats within the toy, so you could bring it to your friend's house, and this is what they said. You can match them against someone else's, Link versus Mario, who would win, or have them on your team against each other. So whatever that means. Yeah, it looked like the cap was 50, level 50.
It's just obviously Disney jumped on the bandwagon. They're making probably piles of cash from it, and Nintendo's like
$15 a toy.
Yeah, and
$80 for the starter pack.
Right, it's like, it's not that bad of a deal because it's a game that keeps going on and on and on. Like, you can, the more you buy, like, in that regards, yes, it's a sweet game. Because I played Skylanders before. I haven't played Disney Infinity. I played a bit of Skylanders, and it's actually a pretty fun game. I'm not gonna lie, but
it's all about the dough.
It really is. It really is all about the dough. Like, you buy the game, and how much is the game? $60?
Well, it's lower now, but the starter pack used to be $75. Okay, and you got two toys and one giant. Okay, we're kind of trailing off here, but wrap it up quick. They made all of the Skylanders, then they made Giants, then they made Swap Force. Now they're coming out with another one.
It's almost like playing cards, in a sense. Because they're always coming out with different kind of sets, new things to add to
it's just mix. We had 25 different playable things for this generation. Add another 25 for this one. You got to buy a different game, which I'm not sure if the portal still works for every game. So I think you got to buy a whole new starter pack because you can't just buy the game alone unless you can.
I thought it was cool that at least you don't have to buy a separate peripheral. It comes right in the for the Amiibos at least. It comes right on the fucking thing.
What are you talking about? The base.
Did you notice he was just using the gamepad?
Oh yeah.
And you just put it right on the gamepad and it works.
Speaking of that, speaking of which is. For the 3DS, they're coming out with a small portal for...
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Which looks like a little wafer, and you just put your toy on it.
Okay, so to wrap this up, it's going to equal a lot of money for Nintendo, I think. I think it's going to boost sales. I mean, what has Smash always been to Nintendo? It has been a surefire, we're going to sell a lot of copies of this, we're going to make a lot of money off of it. And I think this time around they said, what can we do to enhance that? Okay, we get a 3DS release, and we get a Wii U release. Separate them a little bit, which, we'll talk about that in a second. People are mad because it got pushed back. I think it's a good thing. October 3rd? October 3rd, yeah, is when the... the 3DS version comes out. People are mad about that because October is not summer, Reggie.
Well, let me ask you this: would you rather them have the toys where it's like your own, you can play the character and you can get, your own stats? And do you think do you think they're just doing it just for the money, or they're doing it to actually have fun?
I think they're both. I think Nintendo always does things for both. I don't think that. And maybe this is a silly thing for me to say. I don't think that anyone's completely 100% greedy or not greedy, And we're getting into some weird stuff here. I don't think Nintendo's greedy at all. I think if you played any other games, that they obviously want people to have fun. They want to give people a reason to buy their stuff. So they're going to say, okay, here's a little add-on to the game. Pay this much, and you can, with the Amiibos at least, you can have a nice little figurine, which they look nice.
Wait, they're not Amiibos, remember?
Oh, they're Smashlanders. They look nice, and they also give you a different element to play in the game. I think it's going to be big with like the younger generation. So I think that's good I think that's a good thing, because if nothing else, Nintendo's always been great at including everyone. If you've ever played Smash with a little kid, like, they love it, but like they like they'll get their butts kicked pretty bad. You know what I mean?
Right, but everybody's like that.
Everybody's like that. But it's like, oh, like, I'm not just playing by myself now. I'm playing with, like, me and a little friend, and something that I trained up. So I think for the younger generation, it's good, and I think even for our generation, it's fine. It's just, it's going to make money for Nintendo, which is always a good thing after their Wii U sales. Which I think a lot of this is going to turn that around. It's going to give a new element for younger generations to get excited about. Because are the younger generations going to get excited about Pac-Man? No. The 3 kids who play Ghostly Adventures are going to be hyped beyond belief. And then they're going to be like, why is this his moveset?
The 3 kids whose parents wouldn't let them have Call of Duty.
Yeah. So they bought them Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. And it's... I won't even say anything else. I think that's all you need. I'm not upset by it. I'm just probably not... I'm going to see a figurine that I like. I'm going to buy it purely based on the look, because, I don't know, I got like a little Kingdom Hearts figurine, and I got like a Monster Hunter figurine. I like that kind of stuff.
How about this? Do you think that they're going to have all the toys, like every character?
Yeah.
Or do you think...
Yeah, they're going to come out...
Just like Skylanders? Like...
Yeah, they're going to come out with it in sets, I think. That's my opinion. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I think they're going to be like, this is the veterans from the game. They're going to release the veterans. And then they're going to be like, these are the people that are in this game from Melee. And then they're going to release another set. And I don't know if it's going to work exactly like that, but I think it's going to work in sets. So, make money for Nintendo, include the younger generations. What were we just talking about? Oh, we're going to come out in sets. All good things. It's making Nintendo money and giving more fun to people. We spent a lot of time on the Amiibos. Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's move on. It was kind of an unexpected thing. That's why I think we have a lot to say. Smashlanders.
Trademark.
Amiibos, parentheses, Smashlanders, parentheses. Yeah, we'll do Smashlanders.
Nintendo's going to take this video down.
Yeah, and they're going to not going to be too happy about that. What do we have here? God, we're going to say a lot. We'll save that till the end. We'll take a slight little break here from Smash. We talked about the newcomers. We talked about the Smashlanders. Let's talk about Zelda. Short trailer. Open world game. You think? I think the closest open world one was Wind Waker, probably.
Well, do you think that it's gonna be, from what we saw, it looks like Link was just sitting there with Epona, or whatever it's gonna be called in this game, and he's just sitting there. And is that actual gameplay, or is that
looked
gonna
like
be
actual gameplay? But
and all of a sudden this thing just comes out of nowhere and just...
There's like laser beams.
Yeah, just like shooting lasers, like, holy crap.
That leads me to one little question I had when I was watching it. Do you think that this is going to be... how there was a big deal about the Zelda timeline. They're like, what came first? What came after that? And then that. And then we find out that Skyward Sword is actually the first one in the timeline, and... I don't know what the last one is. I can't really remember. I just remember that I think that's one of the last ones on the timeline. This looked kind of futuristic, especially with how his the tip of his bow flipped out and then like electrified.
That's a good point, actually.
It looked like very much they could say this is the newest Zelda in the timeline. It looked very technologically based. The creature looked like a Zelda creature. It kind of looked like one of those guys that would spit the seeds at you, except they're on land. Mm-hmm. Or no. Yeah, the little Octorok dudes. Kind of looked like that, except bigger. What was I saying?
Futuristic.
Oh, yeah, it was looking futuristic. Like, it wasn't just... Like, the creature looked like a sci-fi version of what, like, a Zelda creature to look like. And the technology, especially, like that he had like the bow, it was like screaming sci-fi to me a little bit, which I thought that I would hate, but I'm kind of liking the idea of it.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not quite sure it's gonna be that's actual gameplay because it was just a little too set up where, you know, like, everything's peaceful. Look at this land. It looks so beautiful. You can go all the way down there if you want, but be careful. It's still dangerous. And all of a sudden, this monster just runs at him. Like, seems a little too set up in my opinion. But
Okay.
I'm not saying that it won't look just as beautiful as that, but that was probably a cutscene. You know, because the whole thing, he just ran away. And especially that part where he was on the bridge, he broke the bridge, he jumped up and shot the arrow.
Mm-hmm.
So I expect that to be just a cutscene out of the game. But it looks really good. What do you think about Link? He kind of looked a little, you know, different. You know, like every game gives him like sort of a different type of feel.
Vibe,
like,
yeah.
you know, like Skyward Sword, he looked a little like, you know, I don't know. It was like bright and colorful compared to
Yes.
Twilight Princess, which was dark and
Very
more like
dark.
shaded.
He
looked skinny, a little skinny.
He looked
got,
a
like,
little
blue.
skinny. He looked younger. I talked to somebody about this. He looked pretty young.
He had like a blue thing going on.
He had a blue tunic on.
Yeah.
Which he had that.
No
he
hat.
He had kind of oh god. The Wind Waker. Didn't the Wind Waker start off with like a blue
Like
tunic kind of thing?
Yeah, there's like I don't know what it's called. Is it like there's like pajamas or something?
Yeah, it almost looks like pajamas.
There's a lot of skin in Project Melee for all you
I seen it. Yeah, that guy Sora that I was talking
PM
about.
fans out there. Yeah, his Toon Link's new skin has a sleepy time.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he did have kind of a different look about him. Looked a little bit younger. He just looked like it was Hyrule, but even Hyrule had a different kind of feel to it. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, probably the thing we should have opened with was that it's open world and you can choose anywhere you want to go. Mm-hmm. You know, they said you can go all the way over to those mountains if you chose to, you know, and the whole puzzle part of it was to figure out how to get into each one of those areas because it's not like you just walk in there and you just, I'm going to go do this dungeon. It's like
True.
You probably walk over there and see like, wow, it's a pretty big crevice there. How am I going to get through that? And
You gotta
probably
find an item somewhere that'll let you get across.
Right, exactly. So it's not just straightforward like walk into, you know, a tunnel and you're into a new area. It's just like
and then you have the item for that area, and then
So it's gonna be interesting.
If they can keep up the strong Zelda story and manage the open world and make it all work still, I've got no problem because when I played Skyward, I loved Skyward Sword. Really liked it. I thought the weakest part of Skyward Sword was the enemy design. And I know a lot of people hate Twilight Princess, but the enemy design in that game, I mean, little enemies, big enemies, all of it, amazing. Skyward Sword did kind of a good job overall, but one thing that it kind of got, I guess, I don't know, talked down about would be the fact that you can't really, it wasn't open world at all, very linear. The places where you go are very small, and you go to them a couple times, and that's what people kind of had problems with, you know. Albeit in Ocarina of Time, you went to a good portion of the places twice, but I know that's what people criticized Skyward Sword for a lot, and I think they tried to stray away from that.
I read some comment, I think it was on YouTube or something like that, that in the last 25 years that they've stuck to the same layout of Zelda games, and they're probably not going to change that now.
It's Nintendo for them.
You know, they might, change it up a little bit, but all in all, you're still doing that cookie cutter storyline that it's going to, one way or another, make you follow a certain path. Like, maybe you can try to go to one area, but it's, ultimately you have to go to this one eventually before you can access another one. Probably, but who knows? We just saw the trailer, so.
It's a trailer. It was about 40 seconds long without that, whoever that guy's name was, speech. Looked interesting. I don't know. I'm excited about it. You seem like you're interested. I don't know anybody who's...
You have to get every Zelda game. It's
just a Nintendo thing, I guess. It's not... it's definitely garnering a lot more attention than Hyrule Warriors.
I mean, yeah, it's not the... I don't know what to say about that.
I'm
be
not.
honest.
I don't really
I wasn't
care.
a fan of Dynasty Warriors, so
I played a little bit of them, and I know a buddy of mine likes the Dynasty Warriors Gundam. So I don't know.
I mean, the design of Link looks alright. I mean, he's got, you know, it's Link with like this like blue scarf looking thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure somebody will play it and they'll fill me in on how it is. But this one appears to be good. It appears to... I mean, it's the game that everyone's been waiting for. We got Pac-Man. We got Mario Kart. We got Smash Brothers people have been talking about. We even got a Star... Well, we won't talk about it in this video, but we got Star Fox Wii U. Looking sexy as heck, but people wanted to see the Zelda. They got it, and I think that it's gonna bring some interesting things to the table, as Zelda always should. Last little bit of hopefully we'll try to keep this one short, even though this is the one we probably spent most time watching. I can edit.
You're running on 30
Gonna
minutes
have
here,
to.
But...
The Invitational. Very... I mean, besides playing the game, which I'm going to be able to do Saturday. I don't know how it's looking for you, but...
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. We're going to try to go to about a Best Buy about 40 minutes away and get some gameplay, even though there's so much out now with the Invitational. If for all those who don't know, at E3, there was a Smash Brothers Invitational. They invited a whole bunch of Super Smash Brothers pros from Melee and Brawl. I don't know. It had a really nice atmosphere to it. It was cool that they invited the pros. And yeah, we're gonna be going to play some Smash Brothers this Saturday. Get some gameplay to you guys. But as far as what we saw in the Invitational, it looks to be a little bit faster than Brawl. It looks to be a little bit more competitive.
Yes, more competitive in my eyes and a lot faster than Brawl. I mean, can't really say much from seeing so many items, you know. Right. What are you going to do? Rosalina. It was Zero Suit Samus got the Smash Orb like 3 times in one match.
What's her Final Smash now?
She gets into her ship and shoots with the lasers.
Okay.
So, yeah, so she got the Smash Orb 3 times. So it's quite a lot. Killed at least 2 people every time. Quite ridiculous.
Good Smash.
You know, Grand Finals was Hungry Box playing Kirby against the Zero Suit Samus, who was Zero, a Brawl player, I believe.
Yeah, he's a Brawl player. He plays Meta Knight.
And spoilers, Zero wins. Yeah. And sudden death. You know, not much Kirby can do there, but, you know, Hungry Box got to the Grand Finals by mostly just staying away and not really fighting, and I wasn't a big fan of that, but what are you gonna do? If you're gonna be a pro, and you know, you gotta try to win, and that's what his strategy was, and he got the Grand Finals, he just couldn't clutch it out, I guess.
Well, the Invitational, besides like the results of it, which I was fine with, it was whatever. I liked their little ceremony where they gave them the trophies and yada yada yada. That was great. And the way they kind of had people show the signs of characters that they wanted to see. I liked the feel of it. I liked the characters that they included. And the 3 characters I'm really excited about: Mega Man, Lil Mac, Greninja.
Villager?
I think I'm excited for Villager because the Villager is gonna be like my wacky off character. The Villager looks so just wacky. I want to see like someone get hit by a tree though. Like I want to see that move go off somehow. But like the Villager will be my like side off character. Like sometimes I'll play Ness.
So you're gonna main Mega Man and then
Mega Man. Yeah, I want to see. I'm gonna do a little bit of Mega Man, a little bit of Mac, and I'm gonna assess what I like more.
KO baby.
That KO 38%, I think. 37-38% one hit. Whew.
Almost killed Rosalina, 1 hit from the KO
from 0%.
Off the top.
Yeah. So now, Mac, let it rip. Great atmosphere. The thing that I like the most, and that I thought was going to be make or break for me, was the gameplay itself, and seeing those 3 characters that I just mentioned kind of being played. and all three of them look like they're going to be a lot of fun. And I think that there's more to this game than meets the eye. Whereas like with Brawl, you know, they put tripping in, which obviously they learned their mistake. They're not putting that in anymore. And they really got away from the competitive scene. I don't think that SSB4 is going to be all the way in the same vein as Melee, but I think it's going to be a heck of a lot more competitive than Brawl was. And I think that today confirmed that a little bit, even though they were using items. But I think it really... And you said there was something in the beginning where they said like they tested it and Samus appears to be like the best, and that they asked Smash players what they could do to make it more competitive. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, it wasn't at the... Well, at the beginning, they were talking about how there were 16 players in the Invitational, and how 4 of them... You know, there's 20 characters at the moment, and so 4 of them didn't get picked. One of them being Samus, which from testing, and I think they asked the players or people who have tested the game who is the strongest and who's overpowered. I think they were talking about Samus being the best character so far. You know, it's subject to change still, but Samus right now is, you know, one of the stronger characters, and so that's what they're talking about with Samus.
According to the creators of the game?
That's what they said. That's what Sakurai said at the beginning of the show. So when they brought him out and had the guy translate for him, they were talking about, you know, this character didn't get picked, which is funny because he's one of the strongest characters in the game at the moment. And then at the end, this was on the video, but they were talking about, I forgot what site I was on, but I think it was the pros talking about the game.
Their experience with the Invitational.
Right. You know, is there wave dashing? No. Is there, you know, edge guarding, you know, ledge hogging? No. You can't do that anymore. Is there dash dancing? No. And, you know, one of the comments said that the people from Nintendo, you know, talked to the players and asked them what they could do to improve the game, what their opinions are. And then the pros said that they wanted dash dancing, and they wanted less lag from aerials. So there's no L canceling anymore, so they want less aerial lag. So the game
when they hit the ground after an aerial, they want it to be probably not as fast as if you like L canceled, but they want it to be more so than what Brawl was.
No, not necessarily. I think if they could make it where it was just as fast as
an L
cancel, it'd be great because it'd make the game faster. So ideally that, but if they don't want to make it that fast, then, you know, just less lag than what it is now, anything's better, I guess.
For all of those of for those of you who aren't big into the Smash Brothers scene, a lot of these skills that he's talking about arose from the Melee generation. Wave dashing. I don't want to get into the explanations of what all this stuff is, but
if you're watching this, you probably have a general idea, and you're probably interested in seeing some of these tactics.
Right. It's basically the technology that pros use, you know, the technical skills that pros use in order to make their characters faster, play mind games with people. It just gives them the tactical advantage usually for the Smash Brothers games, which they took a lot of that out in the Brawl series. They took out ledge hogging. They took out... Well, they didn't take it out, but you know as well as I do, like...
No,
as soon as
they took it out.
Yeah, as soon as you play, you see, like, here's the ledge. Someone is, like, falling, and you've, like, successfully, like, you think you've successfully ledge guard. As soon as you get back up, it's like, they, like, magnetize almost.
Right,
to the stage.
It's not that they took it
It's not
out.
impossible.
It's just that what they added was, you know, there's no more sweet spotting the ledge. And
you can't go above. You always sweet spot the ledge.
You can go above. It's just if you're within the area.
If you're lower and you're aiming at the ledge, you've sweet spotted it.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, like, if you're Toon Link and you're right next to the ledge and you up B, you're going to go above
Sweet spot means you grab the ledge, like, right as soon as you're, like, parallel with it. And usually your character's recovery stops as you're parallel with it. So right as the recovery stops, you grab. Not always. I mean, with foxes, you can sweet spot at a downwards angle.
Yeah, angles. But basically, they added those things, and then it made it impossible to edge hog anymore. Mm-hmm. So you can still You could still
It happens occasionally. It's pretty rare.
you can still edge guard people, but it takes a little more work. You know, you have to go off the stage to get it, or Meta Knight just gonna go back air or go out there and hit them and have 8 jumps, 6 jumps, and then up B and glide all the way back. But yeah,
which I don't know. Meta Knight's not been confirmed yet, and Pitt he doesn't have like all those multiple jumps anymore. So I think they kind of nodded to that. I don't know if characters will get them all. I mean, Kirby gets the multiple jumps, but he didn't. He wasn't broken as heck in Brawl.
right.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever broken. But what does all this mean? It means the Invitational was you should look it up, basically. It was a very eye-opening thing, which I kind of figured it would be for people who were curious as to how characters would work. You get to see percentages in certain hits. You get to see the way certain hits play out. You get to see the hitboxes. And overall, even on not a competitive level, you get to see how the game looks. Smash Brothers at its purest is 4 people, items on, and then crazy stuff going on the stage. As much as my competitive side doesn't want to, agree to that, I mean, that is at its purest. That's Smash Brothers. That's what I don't want to say that's what it should be, but that's what it was intended for. But I mean, all games are intended for fun and turned into something else. But the Invitational just showed you so much about the game that was kind of shrouded in mystery for a long time. We had that one video of Mega Man versus Mario a year ago or something like that, and the little bit of gameplay that they show with all their trailers, and that's it. We got to see people behind, with the GameCube controller in their hand, with the new little whatever. Is it just a Smash controller? It's called a Smash controller. Yeah, it works for the Wii U.
We don't know if it's an actual Smash controller or if it's a regular GameCube controller, but basically it's the same thing.
Right. You got to see real people holding the controllers, playing the game, and you got to see the outcome. You got to see what the victory screen looked like. You got to see what the runners-up looked like, which they've changed that. You got to see what the stages looked like. You got to see how well the graphics hold up when there's a whole bunch of people on stage. And it all pointed to the fact that this game's looking good. This game's looking good. We got 3 new characters. I think there's more new characters to come. And this leads us to the final thing that we're going to talk about, and that is the fact that Smash got pushed back to October 3rd. I know we touched on that, but with what we've seen from Smash, and with the fact that every time when they announce something about Smash, it's a big reveal, I think I'm fine with them taking a little bit more time, because I'm not sure. I think the Tokyo Game Show will be before October 3rd. I think they're going to have another big showing at TGS, or at least some little thing that will generate some more hype about the game. And I think that it's only going to do more good for the game. Give them a little bit more time to work on it. So we're not seeing it in July. We're not seeing it in August. We're not seeing it in September. We're seeing it in October. We're seeing it a little bit later than what people probably thought. But we're still seeing it this year. We are seeing it with characters that, some of us like, some of us dislike, vice versa. But I think this is going to be the big Smash Brothers game for everybody. Melee turned into a very competitive thing. Brawl said we don't want that. We don't want a competitive scene anymore. We're throwing tripping. We throw back more to its roots of we just want it to be a party game. The fact that they invited pros to this invitational, and that they're asking pros what can we do to make it a bit more competitive. They're trying to cater to both sides more, and I think this is going to be a huge Smash game for everybody.
Yeah, even though Brawl still was competitive, they didn't want it to be competitive.
It's always going to be competitive, I guess, but they took out a lot of the tech skill, I guess, that turned it. I think that when Sakurai saw Melee, he was like, this is not what I wanted it to be. When he saw Brawl, he was like, I can deal with that. But I get what you mean. No matter what, it's going to be competitive. They could have all Miis. Only Miis.
Mii versions of every character, and it's still going to be.
And people are still going to go crazy, and they're going to, there's going to be tournaments for it. But I think that this game is going to be Sakurai saying, okay, maybe we overreacted a little bit about Brawl. We're going to throw in a bit of competitive edge. We're going to throw in the good old-fashioned, Super Smash Brothers that you like. We're going to add more characters, and you guys are going to love it. So, am I really upset about it being held off until October 3rd? Not in the slightest, because we can keep bringing these videos to you guys. Character predictions, how good we think certain characters are going to be, what stages might be in it, all that good stuff. So, keep an eye open for us. It was fun doing this. Any last closing comments?
Not really. Just like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you do, and tell us what you think about the game.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
The Super Fighting Robot!
Oh, wait! Oh, he got one!
Super Fighting Robot!